5 likes already. I'll be damned. What's going on, everybody? I am at my normal spot outside of Nomad's Nest, borrowing a signal from the local tower, which I'm actually roaming because for some reason, dude, I have Verizon, and Verizon works everywhere except here. Like, I've never had an issue with it until here. So that's a thing. But hey, who's all here? What's going on, everyone? I have been. I've had a great week. I've had a really good week. I got a new generator. I got a new sawzall because I'm gonna start cutting down some of that brush, all that sage at Nomad's Nest, and clearing out some space. I'm gonna move my trailer around so it's in like a. I don't know. I don't really like where it's at right now. And yeah, I'm out. I'm at a restaurant, so you'll see people coming and going while I'm sitting here burning one. Oh, so my last video that I did, the last big video, like the last video I did was me getting the fucking generator, and thank you so much, Kelly. My next video is the last big one I did. I went north and I showed you Nomad's Nest's backyard. But my next one, I'm gonna go south and show you my front yard. I went and checked it out with the dogs the other day and got some good footage and shit. So I've been in the process of editing that the last few days. But I got stems in my bowl. I also got to go to the cannabis market here in New Mexico, and near Taos. Checked out a few of their dispensaries and wasn't exactly impressed. Like compared to the Colorado market, which I guess should be expected since Colorado's been doing it for so much longer. But yeah. Am I coming in clear? What's up, James? Hey, Kelly, I was just talking about you. Welcome. Woot woot. What's up, Adele? Everyone's here. Oh, man. What a great week I've had. I got electricity in my house thanks to Kelly. So that's really fucking cool. I so flabbergasted, to be completely honest with you. It kind of, like, as much as I appreciate the donations and Kelly hooking me up and her husband, Kelly and Scott, I feel guilty because once upon a time I had money, right? And I was kind of stingy with it, and there were people out there that probably could have used help. So, I mean, I don't know, my past self, I feel a little guilty about not being as generous with my funds because I don't really. I mean, money does get you nice things, but it's not as important to me as other things in my life. So I could have done better with my money when I had money. What's up, Deanna? How you doing? About to go for a road trip to hike a desert canyon where there's some petroglyphs. That's fucking cool. Thinking about making my first YouTube video. Dude, if you make a YouTube video, I will watch it. Especially petroglyph stuff. Like, there's some petroglyphs not too far away from here, too, in a canyon, which I've been, like, throwing around the idea of going out there, but my hiking legs and my hiking back isn't what it used to be, man. Like, the army kind of beat me up a little bit, so when I start throwing on the pack and I start walking, like, I already have a little bit of a limp because I have back issues, so I have a bit of a hobble. So I mean, I probably should stay in shape and keep hiking and stuff, but it hurts after a fucking couple miles. So, what's up? What's up, officer? Officer, I'm telling you, I don't even want to call you officer. That's weird. I don't know what else to call you, but I'm gonna call you that. But yeah. Hey, Dave, what's up, dude? How's everyone doing? I'm smoking on some of that sativa shit that those people left me that day. They just threw me a fucking like an eighth of weed, so I'm still burning on that. I'm cheering here. Finally got a new government. Did you guys just have elections, Adele? Adele's down there in Australia, and I don't really keep up on their politics as much as maybe I should, but maybe you need a different packing method, something that's more spread around the body than mostly the pack. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I don't know. The army made rock marching not very much fun. You know, like they made hiking not very much fun. they're like, here's a backpack and go live in the desert or the woods or the wherever the hell we're at in the south. Like, go live in the bayou for a month and see what happens. So like when I people talk about going backpacking and living out in the woods, like it sounds like a blast. But the army just made it not much very much fun for me. So I don't know. Not really not really long term backpack. I could do lightweight stuff though, for sure. I got some redwoods by Las Vegas, sweet tea indica. Fucking A. Um, I don't know what this is. I also have this other half a joint here I might end up burning on too. That I got here in Taos. The cannabis in Taos was kind of expensive, to be honest with you. I mean, compared to Colorado, but butterscotch Margie. I don't know. I didn't name it. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Erickson? How you doing, man? Like that guy Erickson in the chat. Him and I served in the army together. He's an army buddy of mine. Water, snacks, weeds, dabs, and maybe a hammock. That's not bad. I have a hammock that I actually do fucking travel with. Sophia King Chronic for Joys of Sorrow. Oh yeah, you haven't seen my knuckle tax. Dude, Erickson, now that I got out of the military, dude, I can do tattoos on my hands. No one gives a fuck. Nobody tells me I can't. I got some bands here for, each one of our dudes that lost their life after we got home. Like they took their own life, and then yeah, I got the open road. It's probably backwards because the image is flipped. But yeah, open road on my knuckles, and then on the road hand, I got a road tattooed on it. It's got a mountain scene on that side, and it's gonna be a desert scene on this side. And in fact, if you look closely enough, there's a camp spot here with a little fireplace, and the fireplace right there actually has black light ink in it. So when you put a black light on it, the campfire will actually like glow orange and red and shit. It's pretty sweet. Phone, tripod, battery pack. Yeah, that's all you need for filming, dude. I've done my entire YouTube channel completely from my phone. I'll move all my old footage onto my laptop, onto my hard drive. But all the filming and editing and everything has been done on my phone, every bit of it. It's actually like the app I use on my phone is really good for video editing. Hey, thanks, Kelly. You actually sent me $100 pretty recently, Kelly. Which I used, by the way. I was thinking about getting a new battery for the RV, but I might have a hookup on a used battery, a bigger one from somebody I know. So I used the $100, Kelly, that you got me, that you sent me to get this. I got a Sawzall. So I'm gonna use that. I've been trying to clear the brush away using a pickaxe, and that sage is tough, man. I'll swing it as hard as I can at the sage, and it's sharp too. It's got a sharp edge on it, and it'll just bounce bang, right off of the sage. So I'm using a Sawzall. I'm not playing to fuck around with it. And that thing is a corded Sawzall, so I have to have power. And now that I have a generator, I could use power tools. It's so great to have electricity again. Hey, Missy. Let me catch up on comments. I'm a little behind. Hey, Miss. I've already got 25 people in here. That's sweet. I'm doing well. I have a black light tat. It goes away after a few years. Yeah, mine's actually gotten. It used to be brighter, and every couple I don't get around black lights very often, and every couple years I'll look at it and just to see if it still glows. And I think the last time I did it was just a couple months ago, and it still glowed. So I was pretty stoked about that. I have Super Mario 3 power-ups on my knuckles, Star Leaf, Fireflower, and Mushroom. That's sweet. Pretty soon you'll be Flying Raccoon, bro. I remember those days. Dude, Super Mario 3 was the best one they made. The best one. I don't care what N64 did. Super Mario 3 was the best one. You could have the bear costume, the raccoon costume. Like, there's so much. Edition from your phone. What app do I... Oh, the editing app I use is Power Director. And I use the Power Director Pro. I actually pay every month for Power Director because it takes off the watermark and it gives you access to music that isn't copyrighted. It gives you access to film footage, to green screen tools, chroma key, all sorts of stuff that you can use for editing. So it's pretty sweet. It's a little intuitive too. Some things there's a bit of a learning curve, but it's been sweet. How do we get the solar panels work? I will come right back to that, Erickson. What's up, Mac? What's up, Nemo? Good to see you guys, my fellow slabbers. Um, how much is it a month? It's like $10, I think, a month. For for the Pro, and it's actually, I think it's worth it if you're using it for what I'm using it for, because all the extra features are just like totally worth it. The green screen stuff, the you can render in 4K. You can, I mean, there's just so much custom footage, stock footage that you have access to, and stock music and stock pictures, all sorts of stuff. If you've watched any of my videos, like the dancing Santas and all that stuff comes from Power Director. You're in Klamath Falls. I know where you're at, Nemo. That's kind of close to my old stomping grounds, bro. For content creators, that's a great price. Yeah, you can't beat it. You really can't. Like, I've looked into Premiere Pro, and I've got like bootleg copies of them, but it's just kind of busy. It's like Adobe's pretty intuitive too. I also have Vegas, which is, both of those are on my computer, and um, I don't know. Vegas is busy and not intuitive. Adobe's more intuitive, but Power Director means I don't have to take my footage from my phone to my camera, edit everything, and then put it back on my phone to upload. Everything's already on my phone. Although my phone does, I am filling up the fucking hard drive on my phone quicker than hell because I take 4K footage. In fact, my phone films in 8K, but I can't even edit 8K in that program. Um, and it doesn't really. I mean, the quality is a little better than 4K, but not that much better for the size of the file. It's just too much to manage, right? Like 8K footage just takes up so much memory. It's unreasonable to film that way. In fact, I'm thinking about downgrading from 4K to just ultra high def, 60 frames per second, because it's takes up less space on my phone so I can get more footage. All right, I'm going to go back to Ericsson. You asked about how to get solar panels to work. What exactly do you mean? So the way solar system works is the sun will come down on your solar panels, right? And your solar panels take all that energy, and you could go straight to a battery, right? With nothing in between. But if you did that, when it's sunny and your batteries are full, you're going to overcharge your batteries, and they're going to blow the fuck up. Like, literally blow up or boil. You'll smell rotten eggs. You need a way to stop the charge from the sun when your batteries are full. So in between your panel and your battery, you're going to have something called a charge controller. And a charge controller just monitors your battery level. It regulates the input coming in from the panels. And if your batteries are full, it shuts off. There's a bunch of bikers going by. That's cool. Your charge controller will shut down the power to your batteries, so your batteries don't overcharge on a sunny day. Like, if your batteries are full and it's sunny, you don't want any more energy going into them, so you need a charge controller. So then your batteries are storing all that energy at 12 volts, right? So you need something, if you want to plug in like a laptop or a TV or a power tool. Those take 110, like the outlets you have in your house. So you need what's called an inverter, and you'll hook an inverter to your batteries, and you need real thick cables for this to go from your batteries to your inverter, because it's drawing a lot of amps. So you're going to want the inverter takes the energy from the batteries. It's 12 volts, and it turns it into 110, something you can use for just a regular outlet. So that's probably the most basic thing I could teach you about solar. I hope that answers your question, Erickson. um just popped by to show support. Well, glad to have you here, Nemo. You're always welcome, of course. Also, that depends on the panels. Yeah, I mean, your panels are good. The panels aren't all created equal. Charge controllers aren't all created equal, but that's like the most basic explanation I can give you. The charge controller is like just an automatic switch. Um, Forgot to mention I got a free cot. That's cool. Cots are always a gotta be able to sleep, man. Those army cots are a bitch to put together, though. I do not miss that at all. I saw an EcoFlow Pro lithium power station that has a 30 amp plug. Yeah, they've got a lot of those. What's up, Bobo, by the way? They got a lot of those battery banks now that have like 30 amp plugs. The Blue Eddy has like this 5,000 watt battery bank that you can plug in an RV into it. It's got a 30 amp plug or a dryer or something. So I thought that was pretty fucking sweet. You can always downstep your RV to 20 amp, 15 or 20 amp plug if you needed to, go into regular outlet. But if you can get 30 amps out of it, that means you're rocking and rolling, man. You're running your air conditioning, you're running coffee pots, all sorts of shit. Those little battery banks are coming out with those lithium ion like Jackeries. I got a Rock Pals one, Blue Eddy. They're pretty slick, man. Like they'll replace the use of a generator eventually once they become even better. But right now, I would like to have both. I would love to have a Blue Eddy and my Jenny, which now I have the Jenny. I have that little Rock Pals battery. I'd like to have that's a 300-watt one. It doesn't do much. It'll run my TV and stuff when I go to bed. But um, I've heard Caveman's near Phoenix. That's cool that they're on their way finally. Yeah, I'm looking forward to everyone getting here. It's lonely out here on the mesa, man. I mean, I've met some of the neighbors. They're cool. There's this old man that lives down the road from me that he needs a ride into town sometimes, and he's a real talker. He's been out here for like 20 years, so I'm probably gonna do a video on him pretty soon. Hey, what's up, Chad? Appreciate your donation recently, dude. I woke up to that. That was pretty sweet, bro. I've not gotten the door fixed yet. I'm still. I saw. I'm trying not to replace the door because it's hard to find an RV door, but I did see on like Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace a new lock, the latch and everything. So I'm gonna try to scoop that up, and I might need to just reframe the latch itself inside the door. I've already started taking the door apart to see what I needed to fix, and I don't know if I'll be able to fix it that way. I really don't, but I'm gonna try. You know, I'm not much of a fucking RV repair dude, but I made a DIY solar Jenny out of old boat battery and a cooler to experiment. Dude, I've seen people take those lithium ion cells and make their own battery banks before too. See you, James. Go eat some food, man. Hey, Nino, how you doing? Nino from Canada. Um, yeah, I'm gonna hit this pipe. Yeah, I think that when I get weed from now on, unless I find like a local, free market hookup, I'm gonna end up going to Colorado for all my cannabis needs because the the market in Taos isn't bad. Like it's not, but it's I don't know. It's a little more expensive. Their selection isn't as good. One of the dispensaries I went into said like 10% veteran discount. I'm like, sweet, 10% veteran discount. Ordered what I wanted, went up there to pay, and I'm like, hey, I'm a veteran, by the way. They were like, oh yeah, that's just for like edibles. I'm like, it says 10% veteran discount. Yeah, that's just for some of our stuff, like not for everything. Oh, that's cool. So won't be going back there. It was very misleading. They said 10% veteran discount, and they didn't say for certain items. They just said that. So won't be going back. Thanks. I'm good. I'm trying to stay stoned over here. Aren't we all? Aren't we all trying to stay stoned? I like being stoned. Like CBD's all right, like the diet weed, but I still like getting stoned because I don't know. I like the feeling of being stoned. Call me crazy. Oh, it's cloudy today here. In fact, it's starting to sprinkle a little bit. And out there on the mesa where I stay, it's like I don't know, pretty. There's a lot of that moon dust, dirt. So when it rains, it turns into mud. So I'm hoping we don't get too much rain because it'll just turn everything muddy and my truck will be sliding all over the place. It's not much fun. What are the weed laws like where you are? So New Mexico's got they recently just legalized for recreational use. So anyone can go 21 and over can go buy weed. The taxes are a little higher compared to Oregon. But you can grow more plants on your own property in New Mexico than you can in Oregon. Oregon, the limit's 4 per address. Here, I think it's 6 or 8. So that's pretty cool. Um, there's some things that are better, some things that are worse. Just like every cannabis market in the country, it really should be a little more universal instead of it being so fucking confusing. But it is what it is. If I was king for a day, you'd be able to go to Costco with one of them big scoops and just scoop a fucking thing, a bag full of weed, like buy it in bulk, like you do with trail mix. Like there's no way you can buy enough weed to kill yourself with, but I can go to the store with $40 and buy enough alcohol to kill myself with. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Kelly, yeah, Max got some cool shit too. He's been doing it for a long time. Um, nice to see you. How are you doing? I have a medical card, so I get the standard 4 and then another 12 for medical. That's cool, man. Um, In fact, a lot of states, Chad, when you have your medical card, they'll do reciprocity. So it'll be good in other states or dispensaries and not good in other states. Kind of depends on the state, but that's cool. Get weed off the dark web. I wish I knew how to get to the dark web. I mean, I can download movies illegally and TV shows and apps and stuff, but I don't know how to get to the dark web. I know how to post on Facebook, yo, who's got the weed? And I've found people that way before. I've gone into head shops before and been like, yo, who do I get weed from? Sometimes they tell me to fuck off because I look like a cop. Sometimes they don't. Use your browser. Yeah, I mean, I know how to use a browser, but use a torrent browser. A torrent browser? Is that what you're talking about? Like a browser from like a torrent download? Hey Mac, I've seen a bit of your content. Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out Mac's content, he's been in labs for a long time, and he does a lot of that like talking head stuff and his experiences in slabs and overcoming the adversity that he's faced in his life. So, um, yeah. Oh, the Tor is a browser. Okay. Um, if it's that simple, it wasn't like a social. I don't know. Yeah, torrents are still a thing. The streaming sites, they're just getting their stuff the same way I am because I use torrents. I download torrents even though I don't care if it's 10 years old. I'm still doing it because I'll have the movie, the TV show, the app on my hard drive. So if I don't have signal, I can always watch my movies. So I've got like a 4 terabyte hard drive with like a terabyte filled up with just movies and TV shows and a lot of stuff I've filmed that I'm backing up over there. So yeah, I'm still rocking the torrents, bro. I've been downloading like that since fucking Napster, like old school Napster, and then LimeWire, and then FrostWire. Like then they ended up switching to torrents, which I was a holdout. I was like, no, fuck torrents, and then I ended up switching to torrents. Washington, what's the area known for? Um, Seattle and Tacoma, like JBLM, the army base up there. That's actually JBLM right there in Tacoma is the first place in the country that I stepped foot on after coming home from Iraq. Like that's where we demobbed. That's where we came home and got off the plane and I got to stand on U.S. soil for the first time in a year. Was in Tacoma, Washington. It couldn't have been a grosser area, but at least I was back. I held out too. Torrents also had a lot of viruses back then. Yeah, they do, and I don't know. I've been able to avoid a lot of that a lot of that shit. Like it was a little harder back in the day when you were just doing Napster, but it's a little easier now because if it's a popular download, it's probably a clean download. It used to be comments, right? Like you have people commenting on how the quality was, and less of that these days. LimeWire and Bulbbuster. Bulbster? No, I never used Bulbster. I used LimeWire and FrostWire when LimeWire collapsed. I like the stream sites that are using embed code in the video, and you can just click to save video as. I never thought of that. Save the video. That makes perfect sense too, actually. But they're getting the same video I am, right? Like the people that I assume are putting those on streaming sites are just downloading torrents and then uploading them to the streaming site. So I know of one streaming site and they're always just so chock full of fucking ads and spam all over the screen. You got to figure out where to click to make it work, and then which windows to close when they pop up, and it's fucking can be really annoying sometimes. All the pop-ups, you know what I'm talking about. Oh man, can't do this in the army, which is dumb. Most of the ones who do that are usually streaming Asian movies, shows, and anime. That might be that might be true. Like I said, I only know of one. It's a streaming site that a friend of mine uses from Slab. So, not I don't know. I prefer the torrents, man. None of the bullshit. And I don't have to have signal to watch them later. But I guess you wouldn't if you were downloading them off streaming sites too. Did I get a chance to check out Potter's channel? He's not very tough out of that Jeep winch video. No, I haven't. I don't really follow his bullshit. I don't know. I don't actually. I don't actually watch even very many of my friends' videos, honestly. Like, I'll throw them up sometimes just so they get some watch time because that's what you do for your homies. But I would rather do that for friends than, fucking some guy that comes into slabs and destroys people's homes. I'm not giving him any watch hours. And believe it or not, like every time you watch somebody's video, you're helping them become monetized on YouTube. Right now, I'm at 33. You need 4,000 hours of watch time, and I'm at 3,000, like 400. I'm so close to being monetized. I can taste it. Um, but so I'm not gonna go to Potter's channel, and I know he's not tough. I know he isn't. It's not. He just uses his Jeep as a weapon and a shield, and that's why he doesn't get out of it because face to face he'd crumble like old ass man that he is. Poogie Lady just delivered enhanced goodies, having a brownie. You know, the, Kelly, the dispensary I went to, they said that I was just saying that they had a 10% veteran discount, and I'm like, oh sweet, a veteran discount, that's badass. So I go to the order my weed, and they were like, oh yeah, it's not for flower, it's for edibles, and I'm like, oh great, because I don't really do edibles. Edibles, I need like 200 or 300 milligrams for it to do anything to me, and if it does anything to me, it just makes me tired, and I just pass out. Like I don't feel stoned, I just feel like drained. So it's useful if I'm trying to pass out, but I don't. A lot of people will eat edibles and then like be all high, and I don't. It doesn't happen. I'll eat like 10 to 50 milligrams, like what other people are doing, and I don't feel a goddamn thing. Mac, how long you been in slabs? Yeah, Mac, how long have you been in slabs? I forget, like 4 or 5 years now, haven't you? 3 or 4, something like that. Yeah, yeah, Deanna. Like I don't know if I'm gonna follow someone's channel or if I'm going to give them watch hours, it's going to be something I support, something I appreciate, something that I like, um, something that helps our community. That guy didn't help our community, man. He's just a drama starter, which we have enough of that online. I still don't understand the logic of my answer to a man with a shovel is to drive my Jeep through his property when he's. Yeah, exactly. And the man with a shovel, like, Cause didn't have no shovel. Cause don't need no weapons. Known him for a long time. Um, he just didn't like how he was kicked out. Like he didn't like that, so he came back for revenge. Like in the middle, like it was like 4 or 5 in the morning too. It wasn't like he fucking first he drove all of his stuff out of slabs. So he's taking no risk. He's not risking his things at all. He's hiding somewhere in the Imperial Valley and coming into slabs to cause havoc. So, I mean, it's just a matter of time until someone shoots him in the fucking face, to be honest with you. And I can't blame him. I won't. Like, he'll fucking have it coming. Causes worse things than a shovel. Yeah, he sure does. He does have worse things than a shovel. That is a fact. Well, you should like yourself. You're cool. I do like myself. Watching from Italy. That's cool. What's up, Sam? Um, Happy to have you here. I've never been to Italy. I've been to Europe. I've been to Ireland. I've been to Germany, but never got a chance to go to Italy. I would love to come to Italy, and dude, Italian food is my favorite food in the world. And I don't, maybe it isn't. I don't know because I'm eating American version of Italian food. I mean, I've been to authentic Italian restaurants before, I think, but I would love to go to Italy and eat your food and drink your wine and maybe avoid some of your cheese, but eat other kinds of cheese that you have because I like cheese. Um, but yeah, dude, like Italian food's the best. It's the best. It's oh, pasta and meat and sausage. Can't beat it, bro. Can't beat it. What's everyone's kind of like their favorite food? What's everyone's favorite food? Mine's Italian. Indian food's not bad either, actually. My second would easily be Middle Eastern food. You, it's so amazing. It's so fucking amazing. Middle Eastern food was from the Middle East, and this was just army chow I got from this. I went to Oman, which is next to Saudi Arabia, and we trained the Omani army, and they would like we would do cultural exchange, and we got to eat some of their food, and it was fucking amazing. Like I could not fucking compare it to anything else. The rice was good. We were eating goat and sheep and fucking hummus and stuff. It was amazing. Italian food is a bum. I've been here about 3.5 years, off and on. I clean my motorhome, getting ready for my trip. Fuck yeah. Yeah, I figured it was about that long. Yeah, Greek, Middle Eastern for sure. Greek is pretty good too, but Middle Eastern is for me ahead of Greek. Greek food is good. The gyros and stuff. Like, I'm a carnivore, so if they do cool shit with meat, like I'm all about it. Um, what would you? Okay, so you're from Italy, and there's some other people. We got somebody here from Australia. What do you guys consider to be American food? Like, aside from like fast food, obviously that's probably American food, unfortunately. But what would you consider American food that was homemade? Like, I'm curious. Chicago deep dish. Italians would be disgusted. I don't know. I like deep dish pizza too, though. Won't lie. What's up, Jeffro? Welcome to the live stream, bro. Everyone's here. Everyone's in the live stream. Y'all ain't doing anything on a Saturday? I think I'm gonna start streaming once a week on Saturdays. Like, it's a good, with the schedule I've got going on right now, it's a good time to be live streaming. Trying to break this vicious cycle of back and forth nitpicking with idiots online. Yeah, don't give them much energy. Like, I get it. I get sucked into it too. I've actually been very politically minded. I've been on political podcasts before. I've had my own podcast. I've been involved in protests. I've been involved with all sorts of different realms of politics, and it'll suck you in on Facebook and Twitter, because those sites are super toxic. It really is. And it helps me get like some of my therapy out like on there, but at the same time, like, I don't give them much energy because they've made their mind up. Literally nothing I can say, no matter how much you educate them online, they're not going to listen. That type of education happens face to face. If you can communicate with somebody effectively about politics and you can do it respectfully, you can convince them of anything face to face. But online, there's a barrier there, man. There's like this anonymity that you can't break through, and you're not gonna. So don't even give it too much of your energy, because it'll just upset you. Mashed potatoes and gravy, that is a good American food, isn't it? High calories but tasty food, I don't judge. Fried chicken, fucking A. Those are all good. If you guys haven't ever looked up American biscuits and gravy, it's to die for. And I don't mean that British shit. Like, I'm not talking about brown gravy on a cookie. I'm talking about biscuits and gravy, American style. Go Google it if you don't know it. It's amazing. Now I fill up my water tank in the motorhome. I'll be back in a minute. See, Mac. They've gone offline with me like you wouldn't believe. Really affected my life offline. Oh, that's annoying. Online is very new to me. It's like walking on glass. It depends on how much energy you give it. You know, it doesn't have to be stressful. Hey, what? What's up, Special Ed? Special Ed also recently threw me some cash, so I appreciate the donation, bro. I saw that. I say if you keep having issues and you need to take legal action against Slab City News, there's plenty of people that have all the info. You need to take legal action. I'm not having any issues with him. Like, he can try to troll me all he wants. It's really sad. All he does is bait. Like, I got my degree in psychology. That guy's not going to outwit me. He's not going to bait me in. He's not an issue at all. In fact, I'm probably going to make a channel called Slab News Network, and just to tell him to go away. Because, I mean, if you're really going to do a news thing from Slabs, about Slabs, shouldn't you be in Slabs? And so I think next season I'm going to do Slab News Network, and I'm going to make his channel look silly, because I think that'd be fun. But he ain't getting under my skin. I'm doing good, Ed. I'm doing good. Biscuits and gravy is good. That's what's up. Hey, what's up, David Michael? How you doing, man? I'm just smoking on this sativa. If you saw one of my last videos, this dude, like, at this restaurant was just like, here, dude, and handed me like an eighth of weed. So, Nomadic Adventures, how's it going? Welcome. Oh, yeah. About to people's houses. I don't know. Oh, you're talking about Slab. Yeah, he doesn't even know where I live. Like, he can't send fucking anybody in my house. So, good luck, bro. I don't even know where I live. I don't have an address. I don't have. Yeah, I'm not worried about them at all. Not even a little. Yeah, and the location where you live stream, be careful what you put out there. Yeah, I'm really not fucking worried about Slab City News. I'm really not. Like he's that guy can't. I've got him blocked. He can't even interact on my stream. He might have some fake account that he can try to troll me on, so I'll block that as soon as he speaks up. But if he wants to give me watch hours, I'm good with it. I don't care. But you know, I'm not worried about the police. I'm up until a couple years ago, I had a top secret clearance. You think that guy's worrying me at all about the fucking feds showing up? Like they're gonna look at my background, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you are very trusted by the U.S. government." I'm not worried about them. They can send whoever they want, and if they do, if they try to swap me like that, that's a fucking crime. Like then they're gonna be swapping someone that just until recently had a top secret fucking clearance. Like, good luck, bro. I ain't worried, even a little. It's overcast today though, which we've had a lot of fires nearby. We, in fact, my area where I'm at just got put on like the start being worried about, not worried, but start prepping for possibly evacuating, um, because the fires are so nearby. So I'm wondering like how quickly that might happen if I am gonna have to evacuate. The fires right now are pretty far away. Like, I'm not too worried about the fires showing up, but I guess since the firefighters are stretched so thin and it's overcast and they're expecting lightning strikes, that they're worried about other fires coming up. So maybe something that I might have to worry about in the next few days, um, is, but they said to like kind of like keep that in the back of your mind. You're in the gray zone, is what they said online. You're in the gray zone for evacuation. So we'll see what happens with these fires. There's a lot of people who live off grid on the other side of the mountains from where I'm at, and uh, they've had their properties burned, their land burned, their homes burned. I've already met a couple of them that had to evacuate from the fires, and they I don't know, man. They lost everything, and that would suck for people like us, right? We're already off grid. Life's already hard enough. And then we got to contend with like, 30, 40 mile an hour winds every day and forest fires too out here at 8,000 feet. It's unfortunate. I feel really, really fucking terrible. Just like, yeah, just like slabs when somebody loses their home. Like it's awful when people's places burn down. So that's something on the back of my mind is possibly having to evacuate, but it's not like I think it's like maybe a 5% risk, right? A concern. Like 5% of me is like, but the most part I'm not worried. Um, where I'm at, there's a ton of sage though, so it would be pretty easy. It would burn fast if the wind was blowing. It would go quick. Like it would be bad for everyone. But thankfully, I'm mobile. All I gotta do is back up to my trailer, hook that shit on, grab everything, throw it inside, and bail and go. Like that's not even a big deal. The only thing I probably lose is my motorcycle, but it ain't even running right now. So, let me catch up on Dave Michael. Keep up on the good videos. God bless. At 36, I started to stop blazing. I took shilajit resin and normalized my soul. 38 now. No weed. Do you just okay? No, I still smoke weed, man. I like weed. I don't think I'm gonna stop, but I'll try. What I don't know what that is, but yeah, we're the same age, 38. Yeah, Jeffro, I did get the Jenny, bro. That was sweet. That was fucking awesome. I can't thank Kelly enough. Kelly and Scott, her husband Scott. I think I'm gonna name the Predator generator I got. I think I'm gonna name it the Shermanator because that's awesome. But yeah, I got power back at Nomad's Nest. Finally, um, I get to like I get to charge my laptop and my battery at home now instead of having to hang out at this restaurant for 5 hours a day, for just a little bit of power. Um, yeah, Kelly, donate, donate, donate. All my links are in my video descriptions and they're in the comments for most of them too. If you can donate, that's cool. If you can't, that's cool. If you can't donate, you ain't gotta be rich or have money to watch my channel. All you gotta do is watch it, hit like, hit share, throw a comment in there, make sure you're subscribed, obviously. And all of that helps me. All of it, every bit of it. That is so useful because I'm so close to being monetized, like so close to being monetized. I need, let's see, like less than 200 more subscribers, which I get that. I get about 200 subscribers a month, it seems right now. give or take, depending on the videos I'm putting out and the quality. And then I've got like 3,300 hours of watch time, and I need 4,000. And once I reach 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time, YouTube will start paying me. So even if you ain't got money that you can throw me, like putting my videos on play, letting them play all the way through, that'll help me. Eventually, that'll make me get paid. I'll be getting paid for you watching my videos and watching the commercials. Really, it's watching the advertisements. That's how you get paid. It's just from watching the ads that I put in there. Like you can skip them. I don't care. I'm gonna make sure that you can skip my ads because I don't want anyone stuck watching some fucking 30-second ad just to see me clearing sage off my land or something. You know, like that's silly. So I'm gonna make sure you can skip my ads, and yeah, like that is how I'm gonna get paid for you guys watching ads. In fact, any YouTubers that you like who are monetized, and you bring up their video and there's an advertisement at the beginning or the middle or whatever, and you skip it, they're getting a little less money than if you watched it all the way through. So if you want to, pro tip, if you want to help out and support your YouTubers, watch the ads all the way through. I know they suck. I know they're annoying. You've seen them before. They're kind of in the way of what you want to see, but it helps them make more money because you watch the ad all the way through. Let's see. I can't. I'm broke. I'm paying for a big fine rent. Yeah, that's okay. I want my people here. So that doesn't mean you gotta have money. I don't. I appreciate everyone's views and everyone's input and everyone's comments. It's really fucking cool to just, you guys are so like interactive. Like look at all these comments. It's an interactive chat. It's an interactive channel, and y'all are the real heroes here. Yeah, give me a like. Deanna's right. Throw a like in there or dislike in there. You don't like what I'm doing? Fucking dislike it. It'll helps the YouTube algorithms, you know. I guess somebody them for a mass shooting in Slab City. Oh, threatened for a mass shooting in Slab City and was reported. Yeah, I saw that. Max. Somebody said they were gonna come through and shooting people. Yeah, I saw that Waterboy. He posted it live. He posted publicly. That's good. You know, getting everyone. And I think that was just an empty threat, though. To be honest with you, like I could be wrong, but I think that was an empty threat. Plus, there's enough guns in Slabs that an outside gun is probably a bad idea to come in there with a problem. Ziggy came to Canada. Treat you extra special. I've been to Canada. Like, where the hell was I? I landed in Canada on my way back from Iraq. And I got off the plane to smoke a cigarette, and it was like negative 20 degrees and like 60-mile-an-hour winds in September or something like that, or January. It was fucking cold. I didn't even finish my cigarette before I got out or got back in the plane with chilblains. I think it was on the East Coast somewhere above like Maine, wherever airport that was at. We're doing a family circle here. Yeah, we got a family. Like you guys aren't fans of mine. Like you guys are turning this into a little community, aren't we? It's fucking cool. Like I dig it. I bet a lot of you guys have talked on other channels before you came to my channel though too, huh? Because like it's a lot of the same folks on other channels that I've seen, people interacting over there, the same ones that interact over here. So when I go visit like Cause's live stream, I'll see y'all on there. So it's really neat that like even within our community in Slabs, the YouTube community is supporting the YouTubers out of Slabs. That's pretty sweet. Really looking forward to going back to Slabs, getting some more content. I got so many good ideas. I'm going to be putting a lot of energy into YouTube. Family Circle Jerk and Dave Lowe is the pivot man. What's up, Dave? Get in the middle. We're going to make this like Kentucky. Where's Zag? Clear. Zag is I got a new dog, Heath and Bobby. I don't know who I'm talking to, but I have Zag still, and I have another dog named Miles. Zag and Miles are hanging out at my property right now, keeping each other company because they're little homies. Yeah, I started out watching Slab City Jack's videos, and I just branched out and watched other cool people from there. Yeah, I've known Jack Two Horse for, I met him my first year out there. He's been out there a lot longer than me, but we know each other. I do. He reminds me of Zig, so helping Zig is like helping my little brother. Oh, thanks, Kelly. What's up, Cricket? Cricket Kane. Yeah, you found RV7 from Cause. I discovered the Bottle Kids from RV7 because the the okay, so the way that went is the Bottle Kids went and asked them for $1, and the RV7 guys like acted all fucking weird about kids asking for $1, and the kids were just like hounded them and were relentlessly asking them for $1. And the way that the RV7 guys handled the children in Slabs, like it was very laughable. Those kids are great. They're awesome kids. They spange slabbers every Saturday so they can go get sodas and a burger from the burger stand there at the range. And these RV7 guys were just like, couldn't handle the children in Slabs, the kids. Although the kids they can be pests. But they're awesome fucking kids, man. Those are like the greatest kids I've ever met in my life, aside from my own. I have 26 acres of forage bush, lots of food and lots of weed, all in nature over here. I would love to come check out 26 acres. That'd be badass. Hey, Cricket. Yeah, the property's going all right. I actually was just broadcasting that I got a new sawzall. And I'm gonna use that to like all down all the sage, not all of it, but a lot of the sage that I have out there because it is. Oh, it's everywhere. So much sage. So I'm gonna clear it out so I have space for like people to put tents or RVs or whatever, vans. Christ had kids, and they had kids, so we got like 14 dogs. Oh, Christ had puppy. I bet his puppies were freaking beautiful. I'm a modern cause channel and active in IP2. That's cool. I haven't watched a whole lot of RV7 or IP2 or any of them. Like that's not my cup of tea. Like I know who they are and I've seen their content. It's just not my. I don't really drink. So I don't go get fucked up and fall all over myself and throw up in my lap. Sage burns hot as fuck. Yeah, and you know what? It's so windy here, Dave, that I can't even. It's not. We got burn bans in the area right now, so I can't even have a fire right now, and it's a huge risk to have one. I don't want to be the guy that starts a wildfire out here because it would be very hard to contain. With the winds the way they are, there's too many off-gridders, too many homeless. Not homeless because they have property, but they're like just me. They're just like me. They're poor people that live in their trailers out here, and they probably couldn't escape very quickly. So, you know, yeah, can't even have a fire right now, but maybe down the road in a month or two, once the wind dies down, because it's been real windy out here. Yeah, I would love to have a couple of goats, bro. The only problem with me getting animals out here though is that I don't stay year round, right? So I couldn't have somebody watch the animals year round unless there was someone I knew that could live off grid the way I live and would watch the animals all year. And it's -20 here in the winter. Like I would, nah. I can have the animals I travel with, but having a goat, I mean, as cool as it would be, maybe I could foster a goat. Maybe I could have a goat stay at my land for a little bit and eat up a lot of that stuff. But you also got to be careful about what goats eat. Like they say they can eat anything, but those guys will also eat themselves to death. Like huge property. When I go back there, I'm usually tired, horny, or hungry, and when I get back to the house, fuck yeah. Yeah, I think that we all end up that way at some point in our lives, don't we? Dude, it's so cloudy here. It's been like beautiful and warm the last few days, aside from windy. And today it's like overcast and it's been sprinkling on and off. I'm that uh, hoping that it doesn't rain too hard because it would turn into a muddy, sloppy mess out here. Where at in Canada are you, Nino? Fuck yeah, I got 32 people in here, 33. Where's everyone at? Where are you all from? Let's right now I'm in New Mexico. I know we got people from Australia here and Italy and Canada. Dude, I'm international. That's blows my mind. But where's everyone else from? What state are you in? What country are you in? What province are you in? Yeah, you just find someone with a trailer and stay there and watch property. Don't you know anyone from slabs that you trust that wants to escape the heat and post up at your place? I mean, yeah, I know people that most of the people I know that leave slabs in the summer are nomads, like myself. This year, I don't think I'll be doing a whole lot of nomading. This will be the first year that I didn't travel all over the place because I got property. So I I don't know anyone that would stay the whole year. I know people who would probably want to swing through and just have a spot to like take a breath for a minute and not get thrown out of before their next place, which I'm cool with. That's kind of what the idea of the place is. Nomads nest. Somewhere where they can nest for a second. But um, we're all going to keep continuing on our journey. You know, we're all going to keep nomading. And since I can't be nomading this year because I want to focus on my land, I'm going to be going on adventures and I'm going to be doing videos about those adventures. So here we go. Kingston, Ontario. Fucking A. Yeah, you're not too far from the US border either, are you? What's up, smoking with small town? How you doing? Pennsylvania, special ed, man. I went to Pennsylvania once to see the farm my mom grew up in the fall. Oh my god, it was beautiful, man. The color changes in the fall and all the maple leaves. And I remember cresting up over this valley, and we were at the top of the valley, so you could see like the whole valley down there, and it was just like breathtaking. Parts of Pennsylvania are beautiful. On Lake Ontario. Okay, yeah, I know where you're at. Reno, and you have property in Michigan. That's MI, Michigan, right? Dos Palos. I don't know what's Palos means. To what? Very close to the U.S. border, yeah. In Yonkern, California. Oh, Yonkern. That's. I remember when you guys bought that property. I remember y'all telling me about going up to, it's in Northern California, right? If I'm remembering correctly. Dave, I like Reno. Two sticks of Palos. Six. I love learning Spanish. Every time I go to Mexico, I I learn a new word in Spanish. Now I just got to work on my grammar, like the syntax and how the sentence flows, because it's not like English. Um, yeah, Reno's cool as fuck, but it's also like the tiny version of Las Vegas, right? Like it's the smallest little city in the world, or the biggest little city in the world. That's what they say. Whatever it is. Palos equals sticks. We have two huge palm trees in the middle of our one stoplight town. I live in a one stoplight town, literally, and it only stops one direction. The other direction, it's a flashing yellow light. Like, be careful, they might not stop. And that's it. That's the town I live in. And it's got a restaurant, and that's it. And that's pretty sweet. La remote, la rumo. I'm gonna try to say this in Spanish, but that's a lot of R's. La Luminosa. Ah, I'm hacking that up. Inyo Kern. It's near Sequoia. Okay, yeah, I know where that's at. Fucking A. Not up northern. Yeah, no, Reno isn't like Vegas, but it tries to be. I don't mean to offend you if I am, dude. I like that I remember driving through Reno and they had like a rock wall on the side of this building, and I thought that was really cool. It was a neat little town to drive through. I stayed at this old hotel there because it was cheap, and it was like felt like I felt like it was like 1890 in the hotel. You know, I was raised in Oregon, in Bend, Oregon. And when I was raised in Bend, it was like 30,000 people, and now it's like 150,000 people. It's ridiculous, but yeah. Two Light Town, shit. Oh shit. You got a big city guy up in here, Cricket. Cricket lives in Two Light Town. Miami Beach. I was just in Miami Beach back in January, actually. Reno's a stepping stone to Lake Tahoe. Yeah, Lake Tahoe and Pyramid Lake. Don't you forget about Pyramid Lake. That's a cool ass lake. I don't care what you say. Pyramid Lake is badass. Um, from Patlack. No fast food, not mainstream, anything here. Yeah, the closest fast food for me is like 45-minute drive. The closest Walmart's about the same distance. I could either go north or I can go east, and I will get to a Walmart. Um, I think it's about an hour south to get to another Walmart too. So I'm like in the middle of nowhere, and I love it. I love being in the middle of nowhere. Pyramid is haunted. Water babies. Dude, I went out to Pyramid Lake because it was a free camp spot, and I was like, this place is cool as hell. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a desert lake, but it's so kind of off the beaten path that it wasn't very busy. There was only natives there out there fishing. There wasn't a whole lot of them. I don't know how much they appreciated the fucking white guy coming through to camp in there on their area, but it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful country. Pyramid Lake. I like taking that route around Pyramid Lake because it's just usually a little bit more chill than taking the interstate. Um, After all the bodies found at Lake Mead, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, that's because the gangsters dumped them motherfuckers down there, didn't they? The gangsters were the ones dropping everyone in Lake Mead with concrete shoes on. They made Vegas. Lake Mead was their dumping ground. That's everyone knows that. Oh, it's not free anymore. Oh, that's a bummer. I bet people came there and fucking fucked it up. It used to be free to just camp right anywhere out there on the side of the lake. Marianne, you're so cool. Uh oh. My neighbors turned on their car alarm. Oh, they found the keys. There they go. All right. Let's see here. Oh, I got a donation. I need to call this out from Kelly. Oh, that's what you mentioned that. Fuck yeah, Kelly. Thank you for the donation. I just got $10. I so I don't have it like it doesn't alert me. I've got to actually like manually find out that I got donations, and I did, and I got it from Kelly. So I only know my Cash App link by heart, which is hashtag Zig0420. The rest of them I don't know. I need to figure out if I can change the names on the other ones to make them all just the same. Figure that shit out one day. But I'm so limited on signal where I'm at, so when I come into town, I'm using the Wi-Fi and catching up on all my social media. It can get really overwhelming. So then remembering to like change the screen names on my PayPal and change the screen names on that to make it all universal, which I should, um, doesn't come to mind. In fact, I tend to go home and I'm like, oh, I forgot to do that while I had signal. I forgot to do this while I had signal. So, yeah. I've also heard of similar stories about Pyramid Lake. Sometimes the bodies are said to end up in Lake Castaic as well. I don't know that lake, Castaic. I gotta check that shit out some of these days. I don't, man. I used to go to Oregon every single summer because that's where I was from. So in the summertime, I'd go with what I know. I'd go back to Oregon because it's fucking beautiful, and I know people there, and my social circle was there. But the longer I spend away from Oregon, the less of a social circle I have in Oregon, and also I've seen it. Like I've seen Oregon, the whole state. I've been up and down, left and right, and in between that entire state. So I don't go back as much as I used to, but I used to go back, and I would also um, get. I would swing by Pyramid Lake and Reno, and because I would like, I always like to take the, you know, I don't like taking just the interstate straight there. I like to find beautiful spots along the way and obscure spots. Atlas Obscura is actually a really good spot for that. No, I'm talking about California lakes. Dude, there's a ton of lakes in California too. Tahoe is pretty cool, but I know there's a ton of lakes out there. I know where I'm from in Oregon, you drive 30 minutes outside of Bend, and there are literally hundreds, hundreds, plural, hundreds of lakes in the Cascade Lakes area. It's not worth it, bro. This place sucks now. I know, Chad. I know it does. That's why I don't go back anymore. I mean, there are some things about Bend I still appreciate, especially when you get out of town, like out into the woods. But it used to be I'd go out into the I was raised in those woods. I bow hunted in those woods my whole life. It used to be you'd get out in those woods and you might run into someone. Um, Maybe. Nowadays you're guaranteed to run into groups of people. Like you can't get out in the woods out in Central Oregon anymore and just be away from people. There's just so many. I'm finding spots here though. I am finding spots here in the woods that there aren't very many people. Right now, with all the forest fires around, they just shut down all the national forests around me. So I was like, kind of, I was up there in the woods the day before they shut it all down. I got some cool footage, and the next day they were had it all shut down. All the roads were closed. It's kind of annoying. Like the forest fires out here right now, they started them. they were doing a controlled burn on a windy day and it got out of control. And so because they're stretched so thin, nobody can use the public lands. Like they did this and they can't, now we can't use it. It's dumb. Hey, Kelly's threw my PayPal info up there. Yeah, Jimmy Sehorn at PayPal. Um, it's SC. I'm assuming you're talking about South Carolina, because I graduated high school in North Carolina. I claim that I'm from Oregon, but I spent a few years of my childhood in North Carolina and graduated high school out there on the coast. So if you're in South Carolina, I might know where you're at. I've been all over the country, man. Like every time I see those things on Facebook that are like fill in the states you've been to, I'm like, I've been to all 50 states, all 50 of them. I haven't explored all 50 of them, but I have been to all 50 states now in my 38 years on this earth. Ooh. So, I just finished my bowl. Yeah, the forest fires down here, Nino. I guess this one that's burning, I can see it every morning. I wake up and I look out at the mountains, and you can see the smoke pouring out from behind the mountains. Apparently, it's the biggest one in New Mexico's history. And, where I'm from in Central Oregon, it's the same thing. Every summer, the forest burns, and then they close it down. It's been like that for like the last 5 or 6 years now. Maybe even longer. Every summer it just burns and then it gets cold again, stops burning, and that's what the 2 seasons in Central Oregon have now. And I'm hoping that doesn't happen here, because this is also a high desert and the forest is being managed the same way. So is a prophetic thing that the fire started. um I I just hope that it doesn't end up being like that here. It's like fire season every summer, and all we have is smoke and forest fires, and they shut down the woods, because that would be unfortunate that it's happening in like the Pacific Northwest and Northern California, and then down here in New Mexico and Northern Arizona is just as bad. They burned all year last year too. I got kicked out of the national forest last year in Northern Arizona because of the fires, and had to like boogie on over here to New Mexico. So I don't know. It's forest is being managed the same way. So I mean, I go out into the woods here, and there's tons of fuel. There's tons of fuel on the ground. I honestly just want to drive through woods and just start throwing like sticks and stuff in the back of my truck to go build on my land with. It's a prophecy that the natives have been saying for years. That wouldn't surprise me, considering that this is all native land, previously native land. There's still at the Taos Pueblo, there's still a native tribe there, and that's their land. In fact, I can't even go out to the Taos Pueblo because I'm white. I can't go out there. Unless you live out there, they're not letting people out there because they're a sovereign nation. But it wouldn't surprise me for them to, have a prophecy just like this. Why didn't I get a notification? Glad I made it. What's up, Vlad? Welcome, bro. I don't know why you didn't get a notification. What's up? I don't. There is a way to set my live streams to premiere, right? Like, so I don't know if I'm doing that right or not. Was it premiered today? Did you guys see that? I'm not sure. I thought that there was like 3 people waiting when I showed up. So, but right now we got 26 people in here. That's cool. 32 likes. You guys got me for a little while longer before I'm going to take off. I'm going to have to go back to my land pretty soon, and well, not pretty soon, but maybe an hour or so, and check on my pups, make sure they're okay. If you get burnt out by the fires, I assume, we'll plant sequoia on your property. Sequoias don't burn. I don't know if there's enough water to have a tree like that out here. I really don't think that there is. The trees that I have out here are high desert trees, and it gets very, very, very cold, and there's not very much water. It's a high desert. It doesn't rain very much. So I don't know if sequoias would last. I think they would probably freeze to death, trying to grow them out here, or at least, die from lack of water. If I'm gonna grow cannabis on my land this year, I'm gonna need to figure out water, like, because they take a lot of water. And right now I got water. Like, every time I go into town, I get more water. but I need like a cistern to keep all my water. And there's a few things I really need, but water cistern would be cool, like one of those 250-gallon tanks. And then I want to get a 12-volt fridge so I can stop relying so much on propane. Cool, Chad. I'm glad that it premiered properly. Yeah, Heath or Bobby, Heath and Bobby. I'm at about 8,500 feet. So it's pretty high up in elevation. The mountains I'm seeing, they're like 10,000 footers at least, or 11. Yeah, see you, Chad. Have a good one, bro. Thanks for being here. Appreciate the donation that you sent me. You are a rock star. Have a good day at work, bro. I got fucking thorn in my finger. There's a lot of cacti out where I'm at, like prickly pear. And yeah, I caught one this morning, and then the dogs have gotten them in their paws. I've had to pull them out of their paws a couple times. Zach's pretty tough about it, but Miles is a big old baby. Because he's actually a baby. He's like 6 months old now. Wait, what month is this? May? He was born in November. December, January, February, March, April. He's 6 months old. 6 months. Oh, man. I, kind of considering smoking this half a joint that I got here. I got this from the Taos Market. It's butterscotch Margie. 21 gram or 21 THC content is 21%, almost 22. You're at 2400 High Mojave Desert. Yeah. Up like north of Joshua Tree, right? Like Ridgecrest, 395 ish. Burning sweet insanity with you, brother. Yeah, is that a Skittles strain? Is that like a hybrid of a Skittles? The Z, they used to spell Skittles with a Z. Look up self-watering gutter grow system on YouTube. Yeah, I actually the gutter catchment systems out here, a lot of people are doing them. It's technically against the law here to collect rainwater, but I'm gonna do it anyways. But there's so I have a neighbor I met, and he I really want to do a video on this guy because he's an animated motherfucker, but he's old, disabled, doesn't get around very well. I've given him a ride into town a couple times because his truck broke down, and it's just sitting on the side of the road waiting for hopefully a wrecker to come get it. But yeah, he what was I gonna say? Oh, he's got the gutter system on his house. He's collecting rainwater that way. Ridgecrest 8 miles away. Yeah, I know where you're at. I know the about where you're at. Northern Michigan strain. Michigan, they legalized, didn't they? Didn't they legalize for recreational? Am I wrong? I thought they did. I think they did, didn't they? If not, they should. What's up from Boston? I'm smoking one of you with you. I like Boston. Boston's a cool ass town. You can go to Bahama. You can drive your car to Bahama with your mother and your father. It's legal. Okay, that's what I thought. I'm watching on 2 devices. Fucking A, Kelly. Everyone pull out your second devices. Get on your tablets. 36%. Man, like flour is that flour? I'm assuming flour is getting just so high in THC content. I mean, back when they first legalized in Oregon, the highest level you could get really was like 16 was about average, right? Getting into 20% was insane. And fucking now it's like, you're finding 30%, almost 40% flower strains. It's badass. Yep. Yeah, PS, you get it. You get it. Being from Boston, you get all that shit. You know it. I used to date this girl from Maine that her parents had like the worst accent. I'll bet, PS, that you even say Oregon, don't you? You say Oregon instead of Oregon. You say Oregon. I'll bet money. I bet $1. I bet I got $1 somewhere around here and change. I'll mail it to you if I'm wrong. You say Oregon instead of Oregon. If you guys haven't ever been to Boston and you get an opportunity to go, there was, yeah, Nino, that was just I'm at a restaurant, so it was somebody that was eating and they just pulled out. Um, but they probably thought I was talking about him because he gave me a weird look. But yeah, if you guys ever get a chance to go to, yeah, he's high. If you ever get a chance to go to Boston, do it because there's a lot of American history there. It's right on the harbor. There's a beautiful Chinatown there. There's a Freedom Trail that goes through town. You get to see all this American history. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, 36% is getting pretty fucked up, wouldn't it, Bobby? Nino needs a date. Glad you got that generator. Oh, what's up, Roche? I almost bought the 3,000 watt one to have you pick it up at your local Harbor Freight. Glad you have power. Gotta keep the lights on, fans. Yeah, dude, that generator is game changing. It just makes Nomad's Nest like that much more comfortable. Um, I've still got a few things to completely rebuild, but I that is like the biggest step right there is just having power. With power, I can use power tools. I can, charge my devices. I can do my editing and stuff there at home. I don't have to come into town. It's beautiful. Like also the Roche, if that 200 watt generator, 2000 watt generator, if you buy a second one, just like the Hondas, you can link them together. And one day down the road, if I get another one of those 2000 watts, I can have 4000 watts pumping out of those two generators. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Any gold in the area? Mm, maybe. Um, I don't think so in this where I'm at. I'm on a mesa, but the Rio Grande cuts through here, and I know in northern Arizona there's some gold because there's false bedrock. There's caliche, and underneath the caliche there's typically gold. And then southern Arizona there's a lot of gold that's been found down there. And I think probably southern New Mexico would have better gold opportunities than northern New Mexico. But that's okay because southern New Mexico is like 4 or 5 hours away. Vlad, where do you live at? Oh, I appreciate that, Roche. I don't need 4,000 watts of power just yet. I really don't. Maybe one day down the road. I have a few other priorities that I would like to work on right now. The fridge I have is a propane fridge that runs on electric, and there's something going on with it because the pilot light keeps getting blown out over and over again. And so I keep having to relight the pilot, relight the pilot. In fact, when I go home today, I'm gonna have to relight the pilot. And so that's kind of annoying. Northern Michigan and Alaska. Aren't those basically the same places? Just one place is CONUS and one place is OCONUS? I've heard Northern Michigan is like the Alaska of the lower 48s. Yeah, Roche 2 would be better than 1, but let's say that I had $600 again and I could either go buy a generator or I could go buy 2 batteries. I could go buy a new inverter and um, fix my solar setup. I would probably do that first. Like today, it's cloudy, so today wouldn't be a very good solar day. Kelly, I've replaced the pilot, the fucking light switch thing, and the wind's blowing it out. Because I don't know. I think I'm gonna either replace the fridge or get one of those 12-volt fridge cooler things because those are really efficient. And I've had one before and I liked it. And those are like $200, and it's just way easier and cheaper to replace or to get one of those than to replace the whole like 3-way fridge that I have. Yeah, they're like $200 cooler fridge things that you can get on Amazon. And I have one on my Amazon wish list right now, but my Amazon wish list currently is routing to the Ponderosa in Slabs, which if it went there, it'd be fine, it'd be safe. But I'm working on getting an address here. I need to get a UPS box or whatever from town. Then I can just have my Amazon wish list stuff sent here. Alaska is more arid, believe it. I do believe it, actually, Vlad. A lot of people don't know that about Alaska. I've been to Alaska. And it has tundra. It has huge, huge, vast, vast tundras. And no, people don't know that about it. They think of mountains and they think of snow and they think of, fucking ocean, but they don't know about the tundras they have there. That's just as far as they go on for days and days. Good on sunless days. Yeah, generator is. A wind generator. So I've put some thought into that before, and I've done some research. And hey, thanks Heath and Bobby. It's really good to like keep chatting with you guys and have you guys here. Um, so back to Roche, like the wind generator is kind of cool. There's a couple people out here with wind generators. The only thing about a wind generator that I don't like as much as I like solar. First of all, it's sunny almost every day here, so cloudy days aren't very often. Generator can make up the power from the lack of sun. And a wind generator has moving parts, right? And it has maintenance, monthly maintenance that you got to do to make sure everything's oiled right and running smoothly, because there's moving parts, right? And solar, there's no moving parts at all, none. You know, a generator is actually easier to work on than a wind generator because there's more mechanics that work on a generator than a fucking turbine. You got to get a specialized, either an electrician or someone that knows more than me. If it did break down, like even if doing regular maintenance on it, it's still eventually gonna break because there's moving parts. So I honestly don't think wind generators are as efficient as solar because of the maintenance. Solar is like maintenance free aside from your batteries, unless you have maintenance free batteries, and then you're fucking fine. You get lithium ion batteries or AGMs, you're fine. No maintenance required. But if you're doing lead acid, then that's the only maintenance on a solar system that you got to worry about because there's no other moving parts whatsoever. Vlad, I mined in the Yukon. Man, I've known a couple of people that got into gold mining, and I don't know enough about it, but I think it would be pretty fun to get out there in the woods and find fucking gold out of the ground, find money in the ground. I've really, I would love to get into the hobby of metal detecting. I think that'd be pretty fun too. Um, And I know people have found gold like that in Arizona, just metal detecting. They'll find a lot of lead, but they found gold too. I think that's pretty sweet. I know people that like spend money on um owning like claims or like sharing the ownership of claims so they can go camping on those spots and gold mine and stuff. I've thought about doing that before too. The solar is first, wind is the backup. Yep. Some people do wind as backup. I just like having the generator as backup because what if it's not sunny, if it's cloudy that day and it's not windy? Then your only backup, you wouldn't have if your backup is wind, and it's not always windy. It's sunny every day for the most part. The sun's gonna come up, but the wind may not come. Gasoline is getting expensive, but those little Predator generators are really efficient, man. Like 1 gallon of fuel will last me like 2 or 3 days out there on the property for my power usage. And I can get to charge that battery, so when I turn off the generator, I can plug everything into that battery, and yeah, fall asleep with the TV on now. I get to fall asleep with the TV on. I fall asleep with the TV on. I don't know if you knew that or not, but I do. It gives me something to ignore. Otherwise, my brain will just be like, beep, 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 go through my entire life like 15 times, and I can't sleep. But that 12-volt fridge would be pretty sweet, Roche. Actually, one of those. It's not 12-volt fridge. It's 12-volt cooler with the 12-volt plug that you would plug into a cigarette outlet. That would be super useful. That would be a game changer because right now, I got a lot of canned foods and like non-perishable stuff, and it would be nice to have you know be able to get some meat and have it last for more than a couple days. One of the cooks just showed up. He's a better cook. He's a better cook. Let's see if he wants to hit this. About time you showed up.
What?
It's about time you showed up.
I'm like 45 minutes early.
Yeah, I know. But I had breakfast and you're the better cook.
Huh?
I had breakfast and you're the better cook.
Oh, yeah? What'd you get?
Ham omelet. Just too much butter.
Too much butter in yours?
You want to hit this before you go in?
No.
Got you too high last time?
Yeah, I gotta not.
Alright, dude. I'll be in to get some food probably for dinner.
Okay, I'm probably not gonna be cooking, but
Yeah?
yeah, unless she wants me to. I think I'll do it if she asks this time.
Yeah. All right.
We're supposed to be getting like 15 people at 5.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. See how that goes.
Let's see.
Oh, I'm gonna grab a quick shower before I start, though, I think.
Sweet. I'm gonna finish this. Huh. He's a cool kid. He's like 26. All you need is 2 to 5 mile an hour winds. I bet that wouldn't be that hard to pull off here. I'm just worried about the moving parts. You know, maybe it's not that big of a deal, but damn Army Marines gotta do it all for you guys. Yeah, Roche, I gotta throw this out there because of our sibling rivalry, the branch rivalry, but the Marines are the naval infantry, right? Like their job is to storm beaches. And the largest amphibious assault in U.S. history, Normandy, there wasn't a Marine present. It was all us. We stormed Normandy. We were the naval infantry for World War II in Europe. Y'all were busy in the South Pacific getting your asses handed to you, but we were busy, beating the Nazis. So, but I gotta say, the Marines are badass. I mean, not as badass as the Army, but they got infantry, they got grunts. We're the 2 branches that have grunts and the low ASVAB scores. So, own that shit. 8.5 Army vet. Yeah, I was 7 years, Vlad. 7 years Army myself. If you notice I'm wearing a different hat today, it's because I can't find my other hat. I can't find my brown hat. I don't know where the fuck it went, and I'm very disappointed about it, but yeah, 7 years Army infantry. I was a recruiter for a little bit. The largest amphibious assault was Okinawa. You think so, huh? You think so? I think it was Normandy. I think it was D-Day. I think we might have to have a Google off. Who wants to Google largest amphibious assault in U.S. history, and do a showdown for Roche and I? Because maybe it was Okinawa. I know we invaded the island of Japan, but I think Normandy might have been bigger. It's only gay if you push back. No, that's a Navy thing, bro. Like the Navy, it's like, what do they say? 100 sailors go out on float and 50 couples come back. But the Marines is a department of the Navy, so I guess you could say it about them. They're the men's department of the Navy. My husband shot down Scuds. Fuck yeah. Fuck those Scuds. Okay. Oh, maybe I should do a video about this. I've actually considered it. I find it tough sometimes to talk about my military experience. Some of you veterans out there could probably understand that, but I've thought about doing a video about my, deployment to Iraq and stuff. But my job in Iraq, I was there in 2010, 2011, and our mission was to support the withdrawal of our troops from the country. Because if you remember, in the end of 2011, we had pulled all of our troops out of Iraq, and I was there from September 2010 to September 2011, and we pulled all of our troops out in December of 2011. So the mission was to get all of our shit out of the country, and my job was convoy escort. So we had these convoys that were like 2, 3, 4 miles long, and I was the lead vehicle in this convoy. The convoys would be 2, 3, 4 miles long, and then there would be 2 of us up ahead of the convoy, about a half a kilometer or a kilometer out, and we'd be clearing the route. And I had mine rollers on the front of my trucks. We had all this technology all over the trucks that helped us defeat IEDs. So basically, before we deployed, we were training to deploy, we would do convoy escort training exercises, and they would say, "Hey, that looks like an IED. Avoid it." And I'm like, "No problem, Sergeant. I can avoid that shit. I won't drive anywhere near it. Don't worry. I'll stay away from it. We'll secure the blast site. We'll call EOD. They'll come in and blow it up. I can do that." And then we did gunnery on trucks, on Humvees. And my truck we performed the best in the battalion. We were the battalion top gun. And because of that, they asked us if we wanted to be a rabbit truck. And I was like, "What the fuck is a rabbit truck?" And they were like, "You're going to have mine rollers on the front of your truck." And I'm like, "That sounds cool. I'll do that shit. I'm a grunt, let's get into the thick of it." And so the first mission outside of the wire, I'm driving along, right, boop doop doo, with mine rollers on the front of my truck, and my sergeant goes, "Hey, that looks like an IED. Drive over it." And I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And he's like, "What do you think those mine rollers are for?" So my entire job on my deployment was to literally drive over everything that looked like a bomb. And that's what I did for an entire year. Sometimes it was, sometimes most of the time it wasn't. It just looked like one. And sometimes it was. That was my deployment, drive over everything that looks like a bomb. um Talk about pucker factor. And after a few months of that shit, like, it became normal. Like, it wasn't even, at first I was driving all white knuckled and everything. Like, you drive over and it was like, and you go over it and nothing happens. You're like, okay, it wasn't a bomb. And after like 3 or 4 months of that shit, you're driving along one handed, like fucking drinking and eating your fucking pogey bait, and you're like, I don't know, it becomes second nature. Now I got a lot of comments to catch up on. Bunch of y'all talking shit about either branches, huh? It's all good to talk about those experiences. Yeah, thanks, dude. Um, Navy, good thing those Navy. Oh yeah, I'll own that. Roche, the corpsmen, they get my respect 100%, fucking always. I never worked with corpsmen, but I know what they are because we had medics. So it's a scud, shot down scuds. They're a type of missile. What was my best experience overseas? I'm assuming you're asking me, Nina, was my best experience overseas? My best experience overseas. Hmm. Like, I don't know how to explain this to some civilians, but nothing's more exciting than being shot at. Nothing's more exciting than being in a firefight. I don't care if you've jumped out of planes or if you've, bungee jumped or whatever the fuck you do for adrenaline. Um, is it weird that I kind of miss being in firefights sometimes? As long as no one on our side gets hurt? I don't know. That's a weird question because what's good experiences in combat aren't exactly positive experiences, right? Like, maybe a positive experience. Um, Never really put that much thought into it. It's all fucking drowned out by so much bullshit. So, coming home, it was pretty fucking cool. Let's see. I don't know, man. Like, I had a pretty shit fucking year while I was over there, and then my second time overseas was much more peaceful because it was I was training foreign military, and it was still in a combat zone. It was still, it wasn't like we were rolling down the streets of Iraq and Mosul and Tikrit and Balad. We were fucking training a foreign military that was interested in us being there. So, um, yeah, the adrenaline from a firefight, it's absolutely exhilarating, especially when you're working hand to hand with your brothers in arms, and it's just exhilarating. Absolutely. Dude, like, as long as no one gets hurt and you come out on top, you can't fucking compare it to anything else. And maybe that's why Slab City kind of makes sense to me, right? Because no, it's not always safe. Like, I know I paint slabs in a positive light, but there's definitely dark parts about the town. Other channels cover that shit. That's why I don't want to. But it makes sense to me to be alert, right? Like, to be vigilant while I'm in slabs because it's not always safe. And it's natural to me to do that anyways. It doesn't really make sense for me to do that in Babylon. I mean, it kind of does because it's not exactly safe. But in slabs, it helps you thrive there. It helps you thrive there. So, let's see, a positive experience in slabs. One time we had a Toby Keith. Like, country isn't my go-to music, right? But I was raised with it. I was raised with 90s, 80s country. Um, so I know it all, and I can fucking sing most country songs these days. Not the new shit, but the stuff I grew up with. And so Toby Keith, I was actually in Balad, and Toby Keith came and sang the Ballad of Balad. Well, he sang a bunch of songs, but he sang the Ballad of Balad, which is a pretty well-known song in the military. Um, and we were in Balad. He was singing the Ballad of Balad in Balad, and so that was pretty fucking cool, actually. That happened. It was like an MWR thing where they'd bring like famous people to come entertain us, like Captain America shit. Yeah, I guess so. Like slabs. There's a lot of veterans in slabs too, believe it or not. Like a lot of them are older ones, like Vietnam era or the 80s and 90s. But even still, like I've met a lot of post 9/11 veterans in slabs too, like quite a few. Um, Not too many infantrymen, although I have met a couple of infantrymen in slabs, and like boom, as soon as we find out we're both grunts, it's like, oh, what's up, bro? Like we connect immediately. But there's a lot of other, MOSs, tankers, and computer guys. Like I've met all sorts of veterans and slabs. It's pretty cool. Do you see many fellow military friends? It's weird. Like I know my experience is different than others. Some people I know have stayed in close touch with people that they went, overseas with. I None of us did. We didn't really. None of us stayed in touch with each other. Like we've all kind of drifted apart. Like we're friends on Facebook and shit, and we'll comment or whatever. But I don't see him very much. One of the people that I served with was actually in this chat earlier in the chat, and I called him out. He was an army buddy of mine. So like, there's some of them that I stay in touch with, but I don't think I've seen somebody I've deployed with in, let's see, fuck, it's been a lot of years. Shit, like 3 or 4 years, maybe more, maybe more. I don't know. Um, I don't know. It's a strange thing to be so close to someone and then everyone just drifts apart, and it seems like, not to get too personal, but a lot of them seem to be doing okay, whereas I struggle quite a bit, and I don't know how to relate to them while they're thriving in their jobs and their careers and their marriages and everything else. Like it's hard for me to like keep up, I guess. Um, Fuck, I got all distant. Let me catch up on. We got a free to Birch's Garden, Germany from government for Scots Battalion for in the war. That's badass. Yeah, sometimes I still hear from him. Yeah, I've thought about Kelly. I've thought about that. Like they've sent a lot of people from World War II back to like Europe to see their old fighting grounds, and to the South Pacific to see their fighting grounds. They've sent Vietnam vets back to Vietnam to see their fighting grounds. If they ever give me a chance to go back to Iraq in like 30 or 40 years to go, no, no, I have no fucking interest in that. Like that's not gonna be. Don't sign me up for that shit. Hey, you want to go see Iraq? No fucking thanks. I don't care how nice it gets. I don't want to go back. I'm good with it. It's so pretty here. Like we got these giant rock formations with like pine trees growing out of them. They're ponderosa pines. Like right down the road from my property, I got ponderosas, which kind of reminds me of slabs because of the ponderosa. It's a nice, friendly little reminder. See you, Vlad. Yeah, I'm gonna be taking off here pretty soon too. You guys had me for about an hour and a half. I'm almost done with this. Yeah, I probably should do a video about my deployment. That might be a. It's just tough for to like record that, like to sit down and like talk, about, and then edit it later. I don't know. Maybe I'll just rip it off of this. In any case, I have to actually go to the bathroom. Can you show us that view? Let's see. My window's dirty as fuck, but you can see those rocks with the trees growing out of it. And then I'll show you the other view I got, the other direction, because there's more rocks. Yeah, this is my little one light town. And then like right over here is a general store, or I mean a grocery store that's just closed down, and it's got like a Dances with Wolves movie rental poster in the window. A couple other old ass movies. Jack Black when he was like 19. The Rocker. Yeah. Neat little one horse town, dude. I mean, oh, don't talk and smoke. Heard these two old dudes talking about what it used to be like around here when their grandparents were kids, and how like people would be riding around on horseback and shit and shooting at each other. Would have been this is literally like the American Southwest. This is a land of enchantment. You know, it was lawless back in the day. And in some ways still kind of holds that culture to this day, because the people that lived out here, their grandkids live out here. It's the same people, right? Like, it's the same families. The person that owns this restaurant I'm trying to fix my tripod real quick, bear with me. But the person that owns this restaurant I'm hanging out at is apparently a very god damn, how did I have this before? I'm gonna have to fix this. Check this shit out. Boom. They are apparently like a big named family out here. Like, everyone knows them. So God, I'm fucking high as hell. So yeah, like, this is literally the American Southwest. There's probably shootouts out here. I heard this guy telling the story about how his grandfather found this dude on the mesa who had just came up the John Dunn Bridge, and he had been shot, and the bullet went through his leg and into his horse, because he was climbing up this mesa on this like switchback trail on horseback, and the guy shot at him. And so he like took him and nursed him to health, and then the guy came back like 2 weeks later and stole all his tools. As it turns out, he got shot because crossing that bridge, it used to be a toll bridge, and the guy didn't want to pay the toll. So he took one of those like jimmy whackers that you whack somebody with to knock him out, and he fucking clacked this guy that was taking the tolls and just started riding up the hill. And the guy fucking came to, like, what the fuck, and like grabbed his rifle and shot him. And that was like this guy's father or grandfather. So, just a couple of generations ago. And their grandkids are now living out here and raised grandkids out here. So it kind of holds true a little bit to that lawlessness. The slabs, I would argue that there's more lawless here than in slabs. The slabs has a police department fucking 10-minute drive out of town. It's 3 miles away. The closest police department from where I'm at is an hour. And it's very, very rural out here, and nobody calls the cops, just like slabs. And even if they did, it would take them an hour and a half to get the fuck out of here anyways. So the Mesa it's unique. It's a unique spot, and I am thinking about featuring it. I do have a neighbor that would be awesome to have on camera, because he's this old dude that lives down the road from me who had his house built out here like it's like a shanty shack, and he just lives by himself. He doesn't even have a dog, but he's a nice old man who's deaf. So he's just constantly talking and has no idea how loud he is, doesn't hear how you respond to him. But his truck just broke down, and it's like on the way to Taos, and I give him rides into town because he can't get groceries right now. We'll swing by his truck so he can say hi to it and like make sure it's not been stolen or broken into. And he's been struggling finding somebody to like tow it to their shop to fix it. This one mechanic said he would, and it's still sitting there. So I think about doing a video about this guy. And I took him grocery shopping the other day, and when we got back, he piled all of his groceries and stuff into a wheelbarrow, and I'm like, trying to, do you need help? And he was like, no, I got this. And he picks up his wheelbarrow and he starts pushing it to his front door, which really isn't that far. He's just got hip problems and hobbles, and he, but he's like stubborn and wouldn't let me help him. And he falls the fuck over because it's a wheelbarrow, and the weight got away from him, and he fell over, and He hits the ground, and I'm like, oh shit, are you okay? Because I didn't even see it happen. I had just turned around to close my door for half a second. And I turn back around, and he's on the ground, and he just hops up like a 19-year-old and gives me a thumbs up, and then kind of hobbles. He's like, that damn wheelbarrow fucking thing got stuck in. And I'm sitting there like, oh man, I need to get this guy a two-wheeled wheelbarrow, like one of those ones that won't fall over or pull him off to the side. And I wanted to do a video about it, about him using this old ass wheelbarrow to see if we can get enough donations to get him a wheelbarrow with two wheels. Like, it's so simple. I have no idea how much they fucking cost. Um, but seeing him fall over, like, I told him you have to yell when you talk to him, but I told him, I'm like, you're too goddamn old to be falling over like that, dude. And he's like, oh, I've fallen over a whole bunch. And I'm like, good Lord, man. Like, his name is David. He likes to go by David. I'm gonna ask him if he wouldn't mind me doing a video about him, because he's got a lot to say. He's a character. I think you guys would like him a lot. I think everyone would. But he lives out here for like 17 years, out here on the Mesa, kind of by himself. And he seems happy as fuck. He's got this old, like, I want to say it's like a 70s Ford van. I gotta get a picture of it. And it's just sitting there. It's broke the fuck down, and it's full of like boxes, and I think he used it as storage and then forgot about it, and then animals moved into it, so they've used that as their bedding. So I'm gonna have to go in there with like garbage bags and masks and gloves and like shovel all this stuff out. But he said if I cleaned it out, I can have it. And I would love to take this old ass van and clean it out and turn it into a sleeper that just stays here on the land. That anyone that comes through that doesn't have a spot to sleep can sleep inside of this bougie in this van. And it looks like, I want it to look like crap on the outside, but I want to do it on the inside with like, wood lined walls and like a small solar system on it, and maybe a little TV or whatever that they can watch. I think that would be cool as hell if you had a whole bunch of broke down vehicles on your property that look like shit on the outside, but on the inside it's like bougie. That'd be a sweet little Airbnb, or just a spot for people to stay. And you'd call it the junkyard. Like, I've had this Airbnb idea in my head for fucking ever, to build an Airbnb called the junkyard. And it's just an old bunch of junked out vans and box trucks and U-Hauls or whatever. And they look like crap on the outside, and on the inside, that's just nice as hell. One thing at a time. I gotta clean out this cool van that this old man's got. Oh, 37 likes, 19 people still listening to me jabber. I gotta catch up on comments. I've been like just. Yeah, you take care of it yourself. You're right, Roche. Does anyone ever mess with your property when you leave? Yeah. P.S. Actually, someone broke into my property and stole my generator, my batteries, my propane. They cut the wires on my batteries and my solar. They took my inverter. Yeah, I'm rebuilding from that right now, actually. If you watch one of my videos, my tragic journey home, you'll see what happened. But since then, I've gotten a generator replaced, thanks to Kelly Sherman, the Shermanator generator. That's what I got at home. We're wheelbarrow for David. I would rather, like, if you guys wanted to throw me money to get him a two-wheeled wheelbarrow, I would rather right now, like, I got a generator. I got the generosity of you guys. Right now, I'm fine on money. Like, I don't need very much. I'm not asking for anything. I don't need very much. I have about $200 and I'm absolutely fine. I will make it until payday, because I get paid on the 1st, and I love the donations. You guys are so fucking cool, but I would rather take the next $100 I get and get that old man a two-wheeled fucking wheelbarrow, because that thing knocked him over. And I love that he bounced right back up. He seemed okay, but he has an old one-wheeled one. And Kelly, invest in my Airbnb. That'd be sweet. I'd rather you invest in a two-wheeled wheelbarrow for David, and I'll do a whole goddamn video about him falling over with that old one-wheeled one and being too stubborn to let me help him. That's what I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make even a short about it. Or a video or whatever. But on the next $100 I get from y'all, I'm buying him. I'm gonna go to Harbor Freight and get him a wheelbarrow that's got two wheels, so it doesn't knock his ass over anymore. And then I'm gonna record his reaction, or I'll have a friend record it. That'd be even better. Because this old man, I don't know. He's a neat, happy old man. You know, he's lived out here off grid, completely off grid for like 17 years, almost 20 years, and apparently loves it. You know, he has an adobe house. A lot of people out here have adobe houses, um, and he goes into town. He gets simple groceries. He doesn't. He gets like apples and I don't know. He buys very simple groceries, and he fucking still buys the newspaper. Like I gave him a ride to the gas station, and he had like three newspapers in his hand, and I'm like, people still read those? And he's like, oh hell yeah, I still read these newspapers. And I was like, all right, dude, that's cool. Yeah, they do, Roche. I remember seeing them there. I just didn't get the price of them. I know that they have them. It's I can get a two-wheeled wheelbarrow at Harbor Freight right down like an hour away from me. Um, So, like the next $100 I get, that's what I'm doing with it. In fact, I've already got what like from this chat alone, I've gotten 10 towards it already. Thank you, Kelly. That $10 you sent me is going towards his wheelbarrow, and I'm gonna do a video about it. I'm gonna post a video, and I'm gonna go down to David's house tomorrow and record him and um, post a video about this old man and get him a goddamn wheelbarrow. That's my plan. That's my next video. Training wheelers. Yeah, I told him like you're too goddamn old to be falling over. Andy's deaf. I don't know. Like right now, that old man lost his independence because his truck broke down, and I've been giving him a ride into town, and it would be cool to get him at least a wheelbarrow. I probably can't get his truck fixed, but it'd be cool to get him a damn wheelbarrow so he's not falling over anymore. And I don't think he has like a Cash App or a PayPal or a Venmo. Maybe he does, actually. I'll ask him. Like, I don't even think he's got a goddamn cell phone. I've never seen him on a cell phone. And he still buys the newspaper. It's like the dude stopped in like 1982. He's like, I'm done. I don't need any of that shit. Um, and he still watches DVD. I think he has VHS, maybe DVDs. So maybe he's in like the late 90s. um, I don't know. Like he reads books. He gave me a book the other day. He's like, I got a gift for you. He gave me a hummingbird feeder and a book, and oh, he gave me a gas can and a propane tank that's outdated, but we found a place that would redate it if I spray painted it white. So I paint the propane white. They said they'd restamp it and then I can fill it up anywhere. Looks brand new. Not exactly legal, but it's okay. I won't tell anyone. So like he's a nice old man. Um, but if we can get him, maybe I can get him a PayPal. Maybe I can help him with that. And then put him on TikTok or YouTube and be like, here's his Cash App or here's his PayPal, and just see what happens because he's a funny old man. I'm gonna do a video about him. That's my plan. I got a video about Nomad's Nest front yard because you guys saw my backyard. My next video is gonna be the front yard, and then I'm gonna have to go down there and film David and share this character with you. And I'm sure he'd be fine with me filming. I have no doubts. I could probably just put the camera up in the truck and give him a ride to town and just be silent and let him talk and talk about this place. He's given me a lot of the history of the area. Like all this sage, he explained where it came from. Yeah, and a walkie-talkie. Yeah, he actually lives just a few blocks from me, but we can't see each other because there's like a hill in the way. But he'll hobble over to my house about once a week, and we had coffee the other morning together and gave him a ride to town. David. So yeah, so far I got that $10 towards David's new his new wheelbarrow. Because that one wheelbarrow is gonna kill that old man, or he's gonna break a hip or something and not have any way to call anybody. I've never seen him pull out a cell phone. I almost feel like finding an old cell phone and giving it to him just so the dude can call 911. Because I don't even know how he would do that. Like, it's weird. He's, like, Slabs talks about being off-grid and secluded, but they are not nearly as off-grid or secluded as these people. And I've met a few of them already, and the Mesa, if you ever look up the Mesa, Like, you're gonna find out where I'm at, and there's not a whole lot out there about it. There's not. No one's recorded out here. It's kind of a untapped resource for YouTube or for information. I think that's because they don't want to be tapped. So, I'll see what I can do. But the reality is, just like slabs, I gotta earn their trust. They gotta know who I am and know how I'm gonna portray them. And I'm not gonna make them out to be something that they're not. I'm one to humanize everyone that I meet. So I like humanizing people. Everyone deserves it. Yeah, the military spends so much time dehumanizing people. And so I think it's been my like rebellious streak to humanize everyone I possibly can. I think I have I don't know, a troll maybe that changed their mind. I don't know. What's up, Stinger? How you doing? I'm just ranting on because I'm baked and I smoked like a bowl and half a joint. You got me for another 9 minutes. 9 minutes, and it'll be 20 minutes shy of 420 here. The stinger was stung. I think I caught what he said before he changed his mind and deleted. I didn't do that. He deleted his comment. But said something about don't doing it on YouTube. But, you know, I won't put anybody on YouTube that doesn't want to be put on YouTube. Don't worry. I always get permission because that's etiquette. And then people will trust you and talk highly of you instead of like, you know, how they usually do videos about people that are off grid. Feel the joy of generosity, everyone by the Hings League feel generosity. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna pay this one forward. My next $100, I'm paying it forward to that old man to get him a wheelbarrow. In fact, if I don't get it, I don't expect it by the first. So by the time I get paid on the first, I'll throw 25 towards it too. But I think I can get it for about $100 at Harbor Freight. I'll have to look that up. I'll figure it out. I'll price it out unless somebody else can. But nobody ever looked up the largest amphibious assault either. So I'll look it up later because I think that it was Normandy, and I'm googling that shit later, Roche. And I'll be back next week on Saturday. I think I'm gonna start doing this every Saturday, same bat time, maybe a different location. But the internet seems. Am I coming in clear? I assume I am. Trust is better than gold. Yeah, I mean, I want y'all to trust me. So as soon as I got that money, I started making a video about my generator. I want you guys to know, like, this is what I'm spending my money on, and I'm not here to deceive you about it. I needed a generator. The purpose of that donation from Kelly was to get a generator, and I got a generator, and I want you guys to be able to trust that because I think that a donation as large as I've gotten from Kelly, from Adele, it's so fucking amazing to me that you guys are strangers in a lot of ways, and I'm getting money from you, and I would have never done that when I had money. Like maybe I was more selfish, and I've been humbled by it very much so, and I can get that old man a goddamn wheelbarrow. That'll be fun. Wait, I'm googling. Goddamn right you are. I'll hang out. I'll hang out until you prove me wrong. Largest amphibious assault. Stinger, I don't recognize your name. Where are you from, dude? Stinger Easy Buck. Stingers, man. I don't like bees. Bees scare the shit out of me. It's not even a rational fear. Like, some people don't like spiders or snakes. I don't like bees. That's my thing. They terrify me. Keep your stinger away from me. Who knows it? Largest amphibious assault. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. Say it loud and proud, Roche. Nothing made me feel better than seeing the smile on Zig's face. You all know my face did. You guys are sweet as hell. Like, honestly. And you got my view. I think that's law enforcement. It's National Forest. And here comes Tala. You guys remember Tala? She went out on the Salton Sea with me. Hey, you.
Are you live streaming still?
Huh?
Are you still live streaming?
Yeah.
Okay.
Scott wants to know what you find out about Normandy. Yeah, I think Normandy was the largest amphibious assault in U.S. history. I don't think it was Okinawa. So we got a contest between me and a Marine right now on the largest amphibious assault, because the Marines are the naval infantry, and their job is to storm beaches, whereas the Army's job is to hold territory after the Marines have taken it. But the largest amphibious assault in U.S. history, I think, was Normandy.
Yeah.
He thinks it was Okinawa, which meant it was the Marines. But Normandy was done by the Army, not the Marines. There was no Marines.
I would have guessed Normandy also.
D-Day.
Mm-hmm.
So he's Googling it. I mean, he hasn't been back yet. 2 minutes. 545,000 troops landed in Okinawa, considerably more. But the very first day of the invasion, more troops landed on D-Day. But overall, okay, now, yeah, now Winzig. Yeah, more on the day of. Okay, because we also had airborne too, which, the Marine Corps didn't have airborne. They still don't have airborne. They have some guys that get trained in airborne, but they go to the Army to learn how to jump out of planes. That's your Marine Corps Force Recon and shit. But the Marine Corps doesn't even have special forces. Force Recon is not considered special forces by the special forces community. The Air Force has special forces, PJs, but the Marine Corps ain't there yet. Force Recon is like the Rangers of the Marine Corps. So Okinawa landed more troops over time, is what you're saying. But D-Day had more troops day of. On D-Day. So your Marines landed when it was safe, when the other Marines took it over. So what your comeback, Roche, could be, we're better at it, so we didn't need as many men. Basically, the Marine Corps, the SEALs is available to you. That's true, because the Navy, the Marine Corps is the men's department of the Navy. They're the Department of the Navy.
I just heard that. Yes, I know.
But the men's department.
The men's department.
Whereas the Navy is,
I got you. Yeah.
I don't know,
I worked on a Navy.
the other department. That's why they wear bell bottoms.
They wear bell bottoms because they're fashionable.
We are the 300, is what he says. Yeah, they didn't make it, bro. I remember seeing this funny commercial. It was like in the Marine Corps, we learned to run towards the gunfire. And then this dude did a clip on it, and he was like, well, in the Army, they taught us to shoot back, you dumb sons of bitches. I did like, Roche, have you ever seen that show, Generation Kill? It's about the Marine Corps when they invaded Iraq. That was a pretty good show. It showed, like, what a bad unit, like, a unit with bad leadership looks like. Greatest invasion force assembled USSR entering Manchuria. Yeah, dude, I am totally into World War II history, especially the European invasion. It was, to this day, the largest multi-military operation on one single day in world's history that we can ever think of, because communication is instantaneous now, isn't it? We just shoot straight. Oh, that's funny. The Marine Corps is actually, that's one thing they do get us on. And I can't even argue with that, because the Marine Corps is trained to shoot 500 meters iron sights, whereas the Army is trained, infantry was trained 300 meters iron sights. The effective point range on a M4 or an M16 is 500 meters, and the Marine Corps trains at that 500-meter point target, and an area target's 800 meters. But in the Army, we train at 300 meters, and even a 300-meter target's pretty goddamn small, to be honest with you. And in an actual combat situation, I don't think we would be shooting at 300 meters away, anyways, or 500. But the Marine Corps does train for that. You know, even their pogues. Every Marine does. The Marine Corps and invasion force, the Marines take ground and the Army holds them. Yeah, that's usually how it works in conventional war, but that hasn't been like that in a long time, has it? Like, Army's taken over territory, Marine Corps held territory. It just kind of depends on what theater you're talking about. But that is originally what they're designed to do. The Marine Corps is supposed to take the area and the Army is supposed to hold it. And a lot of times we have used it like that, but it just depends on the war you're fighting in, you know. My war, we had already taken it. We've had it for fucking 10 years by the time I got there. And there was Marines there still, you know. Here's one for you. What was the finest propeller-driven German fighter plane of World War II? And you better be good on this one. Fuck, I know more about the Army, or the Army Air Corps planes at the time than it was the finest propeller German plane. Did it start with a G, or am I thinking of their rifle? You're gonna have to give me my brain. What's up, James? Biggie James from... Do I know Lewis? The front and the back. Oh no, it started with a D. I don't know German. Was it the Dorn something? The Dornier? You would really be good, Biggie. You'd be right, Biggie James. I'm talking about the one that's in full production singer and right. I don't know it. We're talking in production. I don't know. Drew, yes, I know Lewis. The Dornier. That's what, yeah. Germans made some funny ass weapons though in World War II. They experimented with a gun that had like a bent barrel so they could try to shoot around corners. They used mirrors in trenches to aim by putting their rifle up, and they'd use a mirror to aim so they didn't have to put their heads up. And they rigged this whole setup. Folky Wolf. Yeah, I didn't. Long nose. I don't know that plane. Was it a bomber? They were starting to like, I don't know. I know more about like the Mustang and shit, and obviously what was the bomber they used in World War II? It was that little ass plane that they fucking ended up using on carriers also. I forget the name of it. Dornier, what is the front? Yeah, it had the front and back propeller. Dornier did, but it was only experimental. It wasn't in production. The long nose. You know, you should have asked me about their tanks. And like that's actually how the Rangers became a thing, right? Like, the German tanks were just decimating our tanks. The German tanks were far superior, and so but they were vulnerable to a lot of infantrymen. If you put enough infantrymen in front of them, they would be able to overwhelm the tanks. And that's what the Rangers' job was, to be the grunts that overwhelmed tanks in World War II and would take out the tanks before the tank battalions would come in, before Patton and his boys would come in. And the life expectancy of a Ranger back in World War II was not very high. So the tankers back in the day were also the only ones that wore the berets. That's where it began. And the black beret that the Army still uses to this day wasn't originally black. It was blackened by all the grease and shit from tankers working on their tanks. They'd get grease on their hands and they'd touch their berets or whatever and it would get all black. And so the black beret goes back to this battalion commander for this tank brigade gave up his beret to this battalion commander of the Ranger Brigade, and then all the tankers followed suit and gave their berets to the Rangers. And then the Rangers, it became like an official thing that they wore the black beret. And then the whole army took that over. Now everyone wears black beret. Then you got the red beret for airborne, and the green beret for special forces, and the tan beret for your Delta Force. But everyone wears a black beret now. Yeah, Panther superior to the Tiger. Yep. The Panther was a German tank. No, wait. The Tiger was a German tank. The Tiger was the one with that. It was the American tank with that big fucking exhaust on the back that bent too, wasn't it? And it like, no, that wasn't it. That was the Tiger was that big German tank that was wide. I might be confusing these two. Wide and like small. Okay. Well, the American tank, you know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to think of which one it was, but it had that big fucking exhaust on the back of it, and it just gave their position away, and they were louder than fuck because they were all diesel. The Panzer. The Panzer. That was that fucking short little fat one. It's about time for lunch. It's about time for lunch. Or dinner? Damn, it's almost 4 o'clock. Yeah, the Sherman. Maybe y'all know more about these than I do. I love World War II history, though. Like, we literally stopped the Nazis. That's badass. And then experimented on Japan, which isn't so badass. But we stopped the Nazis. Rommel commanded a Panzer division. Did you guys remember that story about Patton making the styrofoam tanks to trick the German surveillance planes? Made a whole bunch of styrofoam tanks that looked like tanks. They were huge, and they put them out in the fields, and the Germans got all confused, thinking that's where the fucking Patton's tanks were. Where they were flammable. I thought they were styrofoam, but yeah, that was fucking genius. Dude was brilliant fucking military mind. Time to check on the puppies. Bye, Kelly. Take the puppies for a walk. I gotta go check on my dogs pretty soon, too. You guys had me for 2 hours. Oh, I got more. I got donation from David. I appreciate that very much. That's going towards that's going towards new oh, I gotta turn on my truck before it dies. That's going towards that wheelbarrow for David. I'm doing that. That's the next $100 I get is going towards the wheelbarrow for David, this old man that lives outside like 2 blocks down from me, and he has a one-wheeled wheelbarrow, and he uses it to get like his groceries into his house. And last time he was using it, he fell over, and he wouldn't let me help him because he's stubborn, but he fell over and he hopped right back up. He was just fine. He didn't get hurt, but I figured a 2-wheeled wheelbarrow, it's not going to pull him to one side or the other, would help him a lot. So that's my next $100 is going towards, or however much it costs. Harbor Freight's got them. I've seen them, those yellow ones with the 2 wheels on it. I think he'll appreciate that. He's a nice old man that lives out here by himself, so that was the staging for D-Day. Inflatables look identical on aircon. Yeah, that's exactly it, Stinger. That's what's up. Yeah, World War II history was just, that was the last war I think that we were in that was moral, I guess. Or we did it for the right reasons, right? Like, we did it because there were victims being created. And we can't have a world where victims are being created. And, you know, that's not exactly, they're gonna have music tonight, by the way. If we could use our military for that, to stop the creation of victims, I would be in support of, you know, most of the conflicts that we're in, but we haven't been using it for that since World War II. So, grew up in Cold War Germany. Before the wall came down, had to go wrestling meet in Berlin, had to go on a train at night. That's crazy, man. that is fascinating too. But that I remember, you know, the wall coming down. That was something I learned about as I was growing up. I was an army brat. Yeah, we still got bases over there. Big Red 1 was over there. There's a couple of other units over there. I think they just moved Big Red 1 stateside, but I'm not 100% on that. I haven't really stayed up on Army units since I got out. I wasn't not raised as a military brat. My dad was in the Air Force before I enlisted, but I was raised in a state that doesn't even have a military base. You know, joining the military wasn't exactly a big thing where I was at. Was I ever stationed in Germany? No, I did go through Germany, but I was never stationed there. I went through Leipzig, but no, I was never stationed there. I wish I could have been stationed there. That would have been a better one than, you know, I was stateside and I deployed. I never got to get stationed overseas. And I mean, I guess that would have been a cool. I think Germany would have been better. A lot of guys go to Korea, and at least in Germany you can like bring your family and stuff. But Korea, they have to stay there because it's still technically a war zone. So, you know, it would have been cool to go to Germany. There was a couple of Italy also have units. You can drink beer at 1600. That's fucking cool. People can look up your Harbor Freight and buy your items for you to pick up. Good luck. Thanks, Kelly. I'm gonna get that old man a generator. Damn it. Or not generator, but I was just checking to see if I got any more donations. I gotta remember to do that while I'm live streaming. I'm gonna get that old man a wheelbarrow. I'm gonna do a video about it. It'll be fun. I've been thinking about things to do content about, so having that colorful old man just a few blocks away, you know, if he's up for it, that'll be sweet. First thing I ever did was smoke killer hash from there. Man, that if they caught, now they got drug tests and stuff. If they catch you smoking weed, you're fucked. I actually lost rank. I was an NCO and I lost my stripes because I got popped off for weed. But check out this hat, you guys. I used to wear this hat a lot, and then I got that brown one, and I lost it. I don't know where it's at, but I found this. One of the things that the people that broke into my house didn't take is my hat. But I'm gonna take off, guys. I appreciate everyone hanging out, burning one with me, and us debating World War II, the largest amphibious assault. That was fun. Look forward to the video of Nomad's Nest's front yard, because last time I showed you the backyard and I went north. Now I'm gonna show you the front yard and I went south. And then look forward to that video about David and his wheelbarrow. So I'm gonna start doing this, I think, every Saturday. I'm gonna come down and live stream so long as my schedule allows it. But love you guys. Miles and smiles.